Characteristic impedance of the medium. The unit for the characteristic impedance of the medium is ohms. So characteristic impedance is given by square root of permeability of a medium divided by electric permittivity of the medium. So permeability is represented by mu and electric permittivity of medium is given by epsilon. Hence characteristic impedance is equals to square root of mu by epsilon. So permeability is equivalent to inductance and permittivity is equivalent to capacitance in electric circuits. It is now possible to calculate the value for the characteristic impedance of free space. So it is calculated as Zc is equals to square root of mu by epsilon. It is equals to 4 into pi into 10 to the power minus 7 divided by 1 by 36 into pi into 10 to the power 9. Solving it, we get the value of characteristic impedance of free space is equal to 377 ohms, and this value is standard. Now we can calculate the value of electric field intensity. We have calculated previously the value of characteristic impedance. It is equals to 377 ohms. Now the value of RMS value of electric field intensity is equals to power density multiplied by the characteristic impedance. So it is equals to power density equals to power transmitted by 4 pi r square into 120 into pi. So electric field intensity is equals to 30 pt, means transmitted power upon r square. Now it is possible to calculate the value of characteristic impedance of free space. Next is radiation and perception. Antennas radiate electromagnetic waves. So this radiation will result from the electron flow in a suitable conductor. This is predicted mathematically by Maxwell equations, in which it is shown that the current flowing in a wire is accompanied by the magnetic field around it. If the magnetic field is changing, as it does with the alternating current, an electric field will also be present. So if magnetic field is changing, an electric field will also be present. So where is the magnetic field changing? The magnetic field is changing as the current is alternating in nature. The part of electric and magnetic field is capable of leaving the current carrying wire. So if energy is sufficient, so if energy is sufficiently high to escape through the wire, that is the current carrying wire, then it can be radiated in the free space. Now how much of it leaves the conductor depends on the relation of its length of the conductor and length to the wavelength of the current. So it is totally dependent on the length to the wavelength of the current. Polarization, as it was illustrated in this figure, that is transverse electromagnetic waves in free space, the electric and the magnetic fields and the direction of propagation of the free space is mutually perpendicular to each other, and hence it is called as electromagnetic waves, and they are transverse in nature. Since the magnetic field surrounds the wire and is perpendicular to it, it follows that electric field is parallel to the wire. So electric field is parallel to the wire because the magnetic field is assumed to be surrounding the wire and it is perpendicular to it. Therefore, the electric field is parallel to the wire. Hence, the polarization refers to the physical orientation of the radiated waves in the space. So, what is polarization? It represents the physical orientation of the radio waves in the space. Waves are said to be polarized. Waves are said to be polarized, that is, linearly polarized, if they all have the same alignment in the space. So it is a characteristics of most antennas that radiations they emit is linearly polarized. So in most of the antennas, it is a characteristics that the radiation they emit is linearly polarized. Hence, a vertical antenna will radiate waves whose electric vectors will be all vertical and will remain so in free space. The vertical antenna will radiate waves whose electric vector will all be vertical. Vertical antenna, the electric vectors will be vertical and it will remain in that condition in the free space. Light emitted by incoherent source such as sun has haphazard arrangement of field vectors and hence it is said to be randomly polarized. In this diagram we see that in this diagram if the electric vectors are vertical means the polarization is vertical, but from the sun whatever light is emitting it is traveling in haphazard arrangement as the vectors are arranged haphazardly and hence it is randomly polarized. Here in this diagram the waves is said to be vertically polarized since all the electric intensity vectors are vertical in nature. This colored diagram, the pink line shows electric field vectors, they are vertical. Here in this black and white diagram, Vx is the electric field, it is also vertically polarized. The decision to label the polarization direction after the electric intensity is not as arbitrary as it seems. This makes the direction of polarization the same as the direction of the antenna. So whatever is the direction of the antenna means the direction of the polarization. Polarization means, what does the polarization means? So polarization means direction of the waves which are radiated or the orientation of the waves which are radiated by a source, by an antenna. Thus, vertical antenna radiate vertically polarized waves. Similarly, horizontal antennas produce wave whose polarization is horizontal. So it totally depends upon the direction of the electric field. There has been tendency over years to transfer the label to the antenna itself. Why not to say that the antenna is polarized rather than saying the electric field is direction. Thus, sometimes the people refers the antenna as vertically or horizontally polarized, whereas it is only their radiations that are polarized. Means we can say that the polarization antenna, actually antenna is not polarized, but people refer it to be polarized. But actually the radiations are polarized. So people refer antennas as vertically or horizontally polarized, whereas it is only their directions that are polarized. it is possible for antenna radiations to be circularly or even elliptically polarized, so that the polarization of the wave rotates continuously in a helical manner. So if the antenna is continuously rotating in an elliptical direction, then we can say that it is elliptically or circularly polarized. Reception. Just as a wire carrying high frequency current is surrounded by electric and magnetic field, so a wire placed in a moving electromagnetic field will have a current induced in it. So it is basic transformer theory that whenever a current carrying conductor is placed, which is surrounded by electric and magnetic field, and whenever it is placed in a moving electromagnetic field, the current will be induced in it. It means that a simple conductor, when placed in a moving electromagnetic field, a current will be induced in it. Hence, we can say that the wire is receiving some radiations, and therefore it is acting as a receiving antenna. If the wire receives the radiation, means it is acting as a receiving antenna. Since the process of reception is exactly the reverse of the transmission process, the transmitting and the receiving antennas can be interchangeable. We can use the transmitting antenna for reception, and the reception antenna can be used for the transmission. Apart from power handling consideration, the two types of antennas are virtually identical. The two types of antennas are virtually identical. Means which antennas? The transmitting antenna and the receiving antenna. Hence, we can say that the principle of reciprocity exists. The principle of reciprocity exists between the antennas which are interchangeable, means the transmitting and the receiving antennas follow the principle of reciprocity. The principle of reciprocity states that the characteristics of antennas such as impedance, radiation pattern are identical regardless of the use of reception or transmission. So this is the principle of reciprocity. Means the characteristics of the antenna such as radiation and radiation pattern and impedance are identical regardless of use for reception or transmission. So a single antenna can serve both the functions. Next topic is attenuation and absorption. We have seen the inverse square law. As per the inverse square law, the power density diminishes rapidly with the distance from the source of the electromagnetic waves. So as the distances doubles, the power intensity, or we can say the density, reduces to 1/4. The electromagnetic waves are attenuated as they travel outwards from the source. And this attenuation is proportional to the square of the distance traveled. So there is attenuation, means reduction in the gain. Attenuation is normally measured in decibels and happens to be numerically for both field intensity and power density. This can be shown as follows. Let P1 and E1 be the power density and the electric field intensity, which are at a distance R1 from the source of electromagnetic waves. Let similar conditions applies to P2 and E2 and R2 with R2 being the greater of the two distances. The attenuation of the power density at the farther point will be in decibels. So attenuation alpha P, P means the power, alpha P, that is attenuation, is equals to 10 log to the base 10 P1 by P2. That is equal to 10 log Pt 4 pi R1 square divided by Pt 4 pi R2 square. This P1 and P2, what is it is? It is power density. So for different distances, for distance R1 this is power density, for distance R2 this is power density. Solving it, we get attenuation is equals to 10 log R1 square by R2 square. Similarly, for field intensity attenuation, we have alpha E is equals to 20 log square root of 30 Pt by R1 divided by 30 Pt by R2. Solving it, we get 10 log of R1 square divided by R2 square. So both these values are almost same. So attenuation of power density and intensity are, the values are same. These two formulas are identical and in fact are exactly same. Thus, at a distance 2r from the source of waves, both field intensity and power density are 6 dB down from the respective values at the distance r from the source. So in free space, absorption of radio waves does not occur because there is nothing there to absorb them. However, the situation is different in the atmosphere. This tends to absorb some radio waves in the atmosphere. Some radio waves are absorbed because of the energy from the electromagnetic waves is transferred to the atoms and molecules of the atmosphere. So this transfer causes the atoms and molecules to vibrate, and while the atmosphere is warmed and only infinitesimally warm, the energy of the waves may be observed quite significantly. So the small changes or the small variations in the atmospheric temperature can cause a significant absorption of the energy waves. So here what we are discussing actually how the electromagnetic waves are absorbed by the atmosphere. Fortunately, the atmospheric absorption of electromagnetic waves of frequencies below 10 gigahertz is quite insignificant. Means we can neglect the absorption of the electromagnetic waves for the frequencies less than 10 gigahertz. The absorption can be neglected. So as shown in this figure 4.3, absorption takes place by oxygen, absorption takes place by water vapor molecule. So absorption by both oxygen and water vapor content in the atmosphere becomes significant at that frequency and then rises gradually. Because of the various molecular resonance, certain peaks and troughs of attenuation exist. So we will have the close look on the graph. So this figure represents the atmospheric absorption of electromagnetic waves. So on the x-axis we have frequencies. So as the frequency is increasing about 10 gigahertz, there is attenuation of the electromagnetic waves, and attenuation unit is dB per kilometer. So here the at 20 gigahertz and above, attenuation is 0.2 and above per kilometer, and there are peaks. So the peaks are at 22 gigahertz, then at 60 gigahertz, then at 110 gigahertz, and then the attenuation falls. So this is for oxygen, and this is for water vapor. So water vapor absorption, the attenuation is increasing, but for oxygen it is increasing for 50 gigahertz of frequency, and suddenly it is dropping down to 300 gigahertz of frequency. So both oxygen and water vapor have different behavior, different absorption rates. This colorful diagram is also the same diagram. Here also we can see that the absorption is taking place from ozone also, from oxygen also, and from water vapor also, fog also, from carbon dioxide also, as well as by heavy rainfall. So this line heavy rainfall, this line light rainfall, dotted red color line fog, absorption due to fog, this black color line absorption due to water vapor present, blue line because of the ozone layer, and this red color solid line absorption due to oxygen. So because of various molecular resonances, certain peaks and troughs of attenuation exist. So as shown in this figure, frequencies such as 60 gigahertz, 120 gigahertz are not recommended for long distance propagation. 60 gigahertz and 120 gigahertz. So 60 gigahertz is absorbed by water vapor molecule, and 120 gigahertz is absorbed by oxygen. It is similarly best not to use 23 or 180 gigahertz either, except in the dry air. So if we see in this diagram, 23 and 80 is not suitable for dry air. Or we can see up to 180 if we look, means this 23 gigahertz or 180 gigahertz is absorbed by water molecule, and this 120 gigahertz is absorbed by oxygen molecule. So-called windows exist at which absorption is greatly reduced. Means there are some frequencies where there is no absorption. So these frequencies, group of frequencies where there is no absorption or where the absorption is greatly reduced, that portion is called as windows. So frequencies such as 33 or 110 gigahertz, 33 to 110 gigahertz, there is no or very less absorption. So absorption splits into two major components: absorption due to water vapor content of the atmosphere, which takes for the standard value of the humidity. So if humidity is increased, or if there is fog, rain or snow, then this form of absorption is increased tremendously. So in this blue colored figure, you can see that water vapor, fog, and rainfall do have the absorption, and they much affects it. In rainy season, there is most of the attenuation for frequencies from 100 gigahertz onwards. Hence, reflection from water droplets may even take place. So, for example, a radar system operating at 10 gigahertz may have range of 75 kilometers in dry air. But if there is light rainfall, that is called as drizzling, then the range drops to 68 kilometers. And if it is light rainfall, the range drops to 55 kilometers. Moderate rainfall, the range drops to 22 kilometers. And in case of heavy rainfall, the range drops to only 8 kilometers. This shows how the precipitation causes severe absorption of microwave frequency. So the microwave frequencies are absorbed by the water molecules. So such absorption is insignificant at lower frequencies except over very long radio path. So this is about the absorption, atmospheric absorption of electromagnetic waves. So while designing a system which is to be operated at a particular frequency, we must study first this atmospheric absorption of electromagnetic waves. We must know during which conditions of the rainfall. So during light rains, during drizzles, during moderate rainfall or heavy rainfall, how much there will be the absorption rate. What will be the absorption rate due to fog? What will be the absorption rate due to water vapor or humidity? Also, what will be the absorption during at the area where there is ozone layer or where oxygen is mostly present? So this is one of the basic consideration while designing a system which are to be operated over the frequencies of 10 gigahertz. So if we want to design a system which is to be operated on the frequencies above 10 gigahertz, then we must have the proper knowledge about the absorption of the electromagnetic waves by the atmosphere. Atmosphere here represents the oxygen level and the water vapor or the humidity or the fog or the carbon dioxide, etc. So this diagram, this graph is very, very important. And the systems must be designed considering the windows, means windows here, these windows, where there is less absorption, these windows, these windows. So this is about atmospheric absorption of electromagnetic waves. Thank you.